let's proceed with the auditing in computerized environment. So, una, ano muna yung characteristics of CIS or Computer Information System? So, una, of course, lack of visible transaction trails. So, of course, that is considered as disadvantage sa part natin. Kasi, since computerized or computer information system siya or true computer information system siya, madalang medyo walang audit trails na naiiwan. Unlike kapag manual system kasi, syempre, meron niyang parang documentary evidence or meron siyang audit trail na pwede nating pagsundan. Pero kapag under CIS environment, since it is entered directly sa computer system without supporting documents, kaya wala siyang printed na audit trail. Then, another characteristic is consistency of performance. So, for this naman, ito naman yung advantage, of course, ng CIS or under the CIS environment. Since it is through computer, mas consistent yung process ng mismong business operations. Kasi 'di ba? Dito medyo maliit yung chances na magkaroon ng human error. Since paulit-ulit 'yon, since nakalagay na sa system 'yon, sa mismong computer system na ganito yung magiging flow. So yun ang yung susundan. Kaya lang, pwede siya maging disadvantage in a sense na kapag incorrect yung program na nakalagay or nakaset up do sa computer system, then it will result to consistently erroneous data processing. So, again, yung consistency of performance, it is both advantage and disadvantage. So, advantage siya since consistent ginagawa. So, alam na natin na ito yung magiging output niya lagi since same lang yung process na ginagawa nun. Ang disadvantage lang, the moment lang na mali yung program na i-set up natin to that computer system. So, pag ganun, consistent pa rin naman. Pero, consistent na mali yung data processing. Pangatlo, of course, the ease of access to data. And computer programs. So, in a CIS environment, data and computer programs may be accessed and altered by unauthorized persons, leaving no visible evidence. So, it is important, therefore, that the appropriate controls are incorporated to the system to limit the access to data files and programs only to authorized personnel. So, sa madaling salita, di ba, merong mga password. So, ngayon, since naka-password yung mga computer, ang nakaka-access talaga nun is authorized person. Kaya lang, nagiging disadvantage siya in a sense na baka naman kasi yung password is alam din ng ibang tao. So, kahit hindi ka authorized, since alam mo yung password ng nung authorized person, pwede mo rin ma-access yung pinaka-business flow. And then, pang-apat, of course, the concentration of duties. So, meron ng proper segregation of duties. So, as a particular example, in manual processing, the function of recording cash disbursement is incompatible with the responsibility for reconciling disbursement. Since one of these functions serves as a check upon the other, assigning both functions to one employee will enable that employee to commit and conceal errors or irregularities. On the other hand, yung properly programmed computer has no tendency or motivation to commit irregularities or conceal its error. Kasi 'di ba, di pa tayo nakakakita ng computer system na gustong magnakaw. Hence, what appears to be what appears to be an incompatible combination of functions may be combined in a CIS environment without weakening the internal control, provided appropriate compensating controls are put in place. So, di ba, kapag manual processing, mahalaga na merong segregation of duties. Dahil sabi ko nga last time, pwede magkaroon ng collusion. Mas madaling mag-conceal ng misappropriation kung nasa iisang tao lang yung dalawang responsibility. On the other hand, kapag properly programmed computer, yung gagawa ng mga duties na yon, so kahit ipag-combine na natin yung custody tsaka yung recording, walang masyadong problema. Kasi nga, wala nang motivation or wala nang tendency na mag-commit ng irregularities. So, ang kailangan lang naman, bukod sa may program na computer, meron pa rin tayong additional na internal controls to compensate that process kung saan magkasama sa iisang program system o sa iisang program o sa iisang system yung dalawang duties. And then, pang-5, systems-generated transactions. So, certain transactions may be initiated by the CIS itself without the need for an input document. So, example nga po nun, yung interest, it can be calculated and changed automatically to customers' account balances on the basis of pre-authorized terms contained in a computer program. So, dahil doon, mas madali na yung nagiging computation. At the same time, mas alam natin na mas tama siya or hindi siya prone to error. And then, pang-6, yung vulnerability of data and program storage media. So, sa manual system, the records are written in ink on substantial paper. So, yung only way lang para mawala yung information na yon is mawawala mo talaga or sisirain mo yung physical records. On the other hand, mas madali kasing masira naman or mawala yung data kapag nasa CIS environment. So, kaya natin siyang tanggalin or kaya natin siyang baguhin without having a trace of the original content. So, di ba nga, usually, may baguhin ka lang doon, Control S. Save na siya. So, wala tayong idea na meron palang nabago. O di kaya, madali rin siyang i-delete. So, walang kahirap-hirap, madidelete na natin yung mga data dun sa mismong computer programs or computer system. So, paano po ba magiging internal control natin in CIS environment? So, sabi, many of the control procedures used in manual processing also apply in a CIS environment. So, example nga po ng mga control procedures na to is yung authorization of transactions, proper segregation of duties, and independent checking. So, yung elements po ng internal control are the same. So, the computer just changes the methods by which these documents are implemented. So, meron po tayong dalawang controls or internal controls pagdating sa CIS environment. We have general control and then application controls. So, ano po ba yung general controls? So, these are controls, control policies and procedures that relate to the overall information system. So, it includes organizational controls, kung saan merong segregation between the CIS department and user departments, o di kaya meron namang segregation of duties within the CIS departments. Tapos, under general controls, meron din tayong mga system development and documented controls. So, dito naman, yung merong yung software development as well as changes thereof must be approved by appropriate level of management and the user department. This is to ensure that the computer programs are functioning as designed. So, the programs must be tested and modified if needed by the user and CIS department. Moreover, adequate systems documentation must be made in order to facilitate the use of the program as well as changes that may be introduced later into the system. Also, another example ng general control is yung access control. So, dito naman, syempre, every computer system, meron siyang dapat adequate security controls para paprotektahan yung equipment, yung files, and programs. So, yung access dun sa mga computer na to, of course, it should be limited only to authorized persons and operators. So, dito sa access controls, dito papasok yung paglalagay ng password. Kung saan, di ba, ang tanging makakaalam lang ng password is yung authorized person. So, kahit open yung computer, kung hindi naman alam ng ibang tao yung password, so di pa rin nila ma-open yung computer na yon. So, another example ng general control is yung data recovery controls. Kasi nga, di ba sabi natin kanina, yung under CIS environment, vulnerable talaga yung data and program storage media. Kasi madali silang mawala. So, dahil dyan, meron tayong data recovery control kung saan nagpo-provide sila ng maintenance of backup files and offsite storage procedures. So, for example, yung computer, nakakonect yun sa cloud storage. Kung saan kapag sinesave, nagsisave na din sa cloud storage. So, kahit ma-delete siya doon sa mismong computer, since na-upload na rin siya sa cloud storage, meron pa rin tayo access dun sa data na nawala. So, when magnetic tapes are used, a common practice in file retention is called grandfather-father-son practice, which requires an entity to keep the two most recent generation of master files and transaction files in order to permit reconstruction of master files if needed. And then lastly, under general control is yung mga monitoring controls natin. So, yung mga monitoring controls naman, they are designed to ensure that CIS controls are working effectively as planned. So, more in itong monitoring controls na to, ang main purpose niya is makakakuha tayo ng feedback from the users. So, it is our way to monitor kung talaga bang effective or maayos yung mga computer programs. Punta naman tayo sa application control. So, sa application control, ito naman yung mga policies and procedures that relate to specific use of the system. So, these are designed to provide reasonable assurance that all transactions are authorized and that they are processed completely, accurately, and on a timely basis. So, meron naman tayong tatlong controls under application control. We have the controls over input, controls over processing, and then lastly, controls over output. So, ano yung mga controls over input? So, sabi daw, a large number of errors in a computer system are caused by inaccurate or incomplete data entry. So, that's why, andyan yung mga input controls natin, kung saan they are designed to provide reasonable assurance that data submitted for processing are complete, properly authorized, and accurately translated into machine-readable form. So, example po niyan is yung mga key verification, field check, validity check, self-checking digit, limit check, and pati na rin yung mga control totals. Pag naman sinabi natin controls over processing, ito naman yung mga controls which are designed to provide reasonable assurance that input data are processed accurately and that data are not lost, added, excluded, duplicated, or improperly changed. So, almost all of the input controls that were mentioned earlier are also part of the processing controls because such controls are usually incorporated in the client's computer program to detect errors in processing of transactions. And then lastly, yung output controls naman po, they are designed to provide reasonable assurance that the results of processing are complete, accurate, and that these outputs are distributed only to authorized personnel. So a person who knows what an output should look like must review the CAS output for reasonableness. So control totals are compared with those computed prior to processing to ensure completeness of information. Finally, CIS outputs must be restricted only to authorized employees who will be using such outputs. So, yung effectiveness po ng mga general CIS controls is essential to the effectiveness of CIS application controls. That's why it may be more efficient to review the design of the general controls first before natin i-review yung application controls. Again, to emphasize, yung effectiveness po ng general CIS controls is essential to the effectiveness of the CIS application controls. Kaya, mas efficient kung gagawin natin is i-review muna natin yung design ng mga general controls bago natin i-review yung application controls. What if magre-rely na tayo? So, nakita natin mababa yung control risk sa mga internal controls na to under CIS environment. So, ano yung mga test of controls na gagawin natin? So, katulad lang po ng manual processing environment, ang test of control in a CIS environment involves evaluating the client's internal control policies and procedures to determine if they are functioning as intended. So, dahil dyan, auditors must perform test of controls if they intend to rely on the client's internal control. Sabi ko nga kanina, kung mababa yung control list at balak nating mag-rely sa mga internal controls para nga mas konti or para less extensive yung ating audit procedures, then we need to perform test of control. So, yung objective tsaka scope ng audit is hindi naman nagbabago pagdating sa CIS environment. However, the use of the computer changes the processing and storage of financial information. And dahil doon, it may affect the organization and procedures employed by the entity to achieve internal or adequate internal control. So, yung testing the reliability of general controls may include observing clients' personnel in performing their duties, inspecting program documentation, and observing the securities in force. On the other hand naman, yung pag-test naman po natin, test of control for application controls involves audit around the computer, o yung mga paggamit ng computer, assisted audit techniques. O yung tinatawag nating CAATs. So, ano po ba yung auditing around the computer? So, sabi daw, auditing around the computer, it is similar to testing control in a manual control structure in that it involves examination of documents and reports to determine the reliability of the system. So, kapag gagamitin natin yung approach na to, si auditor, i-ignore natin yung client's data processing procedures. And then, mag-focus lang tayo solely on the input documents and the CAS output. So, gagawin lang natin, yung input data, i-reconcile lang natin with the output to verify the accuracy of processing. So, meaning, kailangan kapag in-input natin yung data, ang lalabas is yung ine-expect nating output. So, auditing around the computer is based on the assumption that if the input reconciles with the output, then the computer program must have processed the transaction accurately. So, dahil dyan, the auditor obtains knowledge about the reliability of the system without directly examining the computer of the system. So, auditing around the computer can be used only if there are visible input documents and detailed output that will enable the computer to trace individual transactions back and forth. So, this is also known as black box approach, and it does not permit direct assessment of actual processing of transactions. So, sa madaling salita, pag sinabi natin audit around the computer, magre-request lang tayo ng input, yung input data. Okay. And then, ito-trace natin yan or i-reconcile natin sa output o yung output na hawak na rin po ni client. So, kapag nakita natin, okay, bangga naman na itong input data, ito yung talaga yung naging output niya, then from that, we will conclude na effective yung naging computer programs na ginamit. And na-process naman talaga ng tama yung input data. So, kaya po siya auditing around the computer. So, we don't use the computer dito. Gagawin lang natin, i-request lang natin yung input data, then i-request lang din natin yung output. And then, pagbabanggayin natin. But ang caveat dito, pwede lang natin gawin yung audit around the computer if masyadong detailed talaga yung output. At the same time, talagang visible yung mga input data. So, for example, dito sa output, nakikita natin yung input number or input data number. So, dahil dyan, i-compare natin ngayon dito sa nakuha natin na input data. And then, kung bangga sila, same amount, same transactions, same particulars na nakalagay, same yung nakalagay na vendors or customers, then it is safe to say na natransact talaga ng mabuti yung transaction. And dahil doon, maganda yung computer program na ginagamit ng client natin. How about naman yung computer-assisted audit techniques? Dito, gagamit na talaga tayo ng computer ng client natin. So, CAATs, CAATs, are computer programs and data which the auditor uses as part of the audit procedures to process data of audit significance contained in an entity's information system. So, meron tayong tatlong klase ng CAATs. So, una, yung tinatawag nating test data. So, when we talk about test data, it is primarily designed to test the effectiveness of the internal control procedures which are incorporated in the client's computer programs. So, ang objective po ng ganitong klaseng technique is to determine whether the client's computer programs can correctly handle valid and invalid conditions as they arise. So, ganito pong nangyayari. Meron tayong sariling test data. So, auditors, test data. So, tayo may gawa po nito, no? Hindi po si client. And then, ipaprocess natin yan o ipapasok natin sa client's program. So, syempre, meron tayong ine-expect na output. So, ngayon, titingnan natin, bangga ba tong output na to? Diba? Dun sa ine-expect nating output. So, may output, then i-compare natin sa auditor's expected output. So, if pareho, then, masasabi natin na, okay, maganda tong program na process na mabuti yung mga input data kasi yung output is ito talaga yung ine-expect kong output. So, ganun po yung test data. So, usually, ito po ay fictitious. So, di yun, eme lang talaga kasi nga tayong auditor lang yung may gawa. Yung pangalawa naman, tinatawag nating ITF o yung Integrated Test Facility. So, bakit po ba merong Integrated Test Facility? So, usually kasi, under the test data, meron siyang disadvantage. Kung saan, yung auditor, hindi siya nagkakaroon ng assurance na yung program tested is the same program used by the client throughout the accounting period. So, baka kasi iba, di ba? So, para ma-overcome natin yung disadvantage na yon, pwede natin gamitin si Integrated Test Facility. So, paano naman mangyayari yon? So, nangyayari, meron tayong test data. So, auditors, test data. Ngayon, paghahaluin natin siya nung client's data. Kasi 'di ba? Baka naman yung system o yung program is talagang hindi naman siya sa same program na ginagamit ng client. O ngayon, ipapasok natin to pareho sa client's program. Ngayon, magre-result ng output yan. Tama. Ngayon yung output, ibabangga naman natin yan. Again, i-compare yan sa auditor's expected output. So, ganun naman po yung mangyayari kapag integrated test facility. So, again, kapag test data, yung test data lang natin yung ilalagay sa client's program. And then, mag-result yun, magkakaroon ng output, tsaka siya ibabangga doon sa ina-expect nating output. Kaya lang, since natin may ensure na itong program na pinaglagyan natin ng test data natin is same doon sa program na ginagamit ng client, we can now use integrated test facility. So, sa integrated test facility naman, bukod sa test data, haluan natin ng client's data doon sa may client's program. And then, yung result na output, i-compare natin siya sa expected output natin. And then, pwede natin hingin yung output ng client's data para ma-ensure na talagang bangga sila. Iya lang, meron din po disadvantage itong integrated test facility. Kasi, kapag ginagamit natin to, kailangan as an auditor, alerto tayo sa danger na makakontaminate natin yung client's master files. Kasi 'di ba nangyayari, hindi lang naman data natin yung gagamitin. Kukuha tayo ng data ni client. So, kailangan ma-ensure natin na hindi natin makontaminate yung master files ni client. Kasi baka nangyari, nung kinukuha natin yung client's data, na-contaminate natin yung master file, tapos nagkaroon ng error doon sa mismong master file. So, meaning, parang nasira, ayaw na mag-open. O pag ganun, makaka-apekto yun sa pag-audit natin. Actually, di lang siya sa pag-audit. Makaka-apekto siya sa mismong reputation natin as an auditor. Kasi 'di ba, from that, iisipin ni client na, ay, ano ba naman to? Di maingat sa trabaho nila. So, dahil dyan, kailangan maingat tayo. Para at least, wala tayong ma-reverse, wala tayong ma-eliminate na data dun sa master file ng client natin. Then, meron tayong pangatlo, yung tinatawag nating parallel simulation. Dito naman, it will require the auditor write a program that simulates key features or processes of the program under review. So, the simulated program is then used to reprocess transactions that were previously processed by the client's program. So, paano po siya? Ganito. Diba? Yung client data. Ipapasok yan sa client's program. And then, meron niyang output. Ngayon, gagawin natin, as an auditor, gagawa din tayo ng sarili nating program, which is same dun sa client's program. So, this is auditor's program. So, kukunin natin yung key features. Ano ba yung mga key elements no program ng client natin. And then, once na magawa natin yon, ipapasok natin yung ating sariling test data. So, auditor's test data. Ngayon, mag-create siya ng output. Yung output na mag-create dito, yun naman yung i-compare dun sa output nung ginamit natin yung client's program and then pinasukan natin ng client's data. So, kapag pareho, then it is safe to say na talagang effective yung internal controls. Sasabi daw, parallel simulation can be accomplished by using generalized audit software or purpose-written programs. So, ano po yung difference ng dalawa? Pag sinabi natin generalized audit software, it consists of generally available computer packages which have been designed to perform common audit tasks, such as performing or verifying calculations, summarizing and totaling files, and reporting in a format specified by the auditor. Pag naman sinabi natin purpose-written programs, they are designed to perform audit tasks in the specific circumstances. So, these programs may be developed by the auditor, the entity being audited, or an outside programmer hired by the auditor. So, meron pa ba tayong ibang example ng CAATs? So, una yung snapshot. So, pag nating snapshot, this techniques involves taking a picture of transaction as it flows through the computer system. So, yung audit software routines, they are embedded at different points in the processing logic to capture the images of the transaction as it progresses through the various stages of processing. So, under these techniques, it permits an auditor to track data and evaluate the computer processes applied to the data. And then, pangalawa, yung natawag nating SCARP or System Control Audit Review Files. So, sa ganitong klaseng method naman po, it involves embedding audit software modules within an application system to provide continuous monitoring of the system transactions. So, the information is collected into special computer file that the auditor can examine.